Hello everyone. In this video, you will be learning about the remaining part of yesterday's lesson, which we were learning about understanding points, lines, and planes. So there were some which we learned yesterday, few of the terms which we learned yesterday, and today we'll be learning the remaining part of the lesson. Now, as you know, this lesson is important for those architectures who are designing buildings. So we knew yesterday the basic words, the building blocks of geometry, in fact, which was a point, a line, and a plane. Now this all in yesterday's video I have explained. If you did not watch, click the iCard above and go back to that lesson and watch video and watch that lesson. Okay, so this is how how points look like. A point names a location. It's like an exact point and it has no size. It doesn't specifically need to be of a particular size, and we usually name it by using capital letters. So these are points. So you call this point A, point B, point C, and point B. A line is a straight path that has no thickness and extends forever. So this is a line which has two arrows on either side, showing that the line keeps extending. It keeps getting longer and longer. It doesn't stop. So how do you name a line? Either you name it with a small letter, a simple letter, in using any letter of the alphabet, or you can use 2 points on the line. You can take any 2 points on the line and name them according to the points. As you know, now points are always named by using the capital letters, the uppercase letters. So you can use any 2 letters and name the line. Now it depends on the question. If the question says draw a line PQ, you need to name them as PQ. You cannot name the line according to what you want. Okay, the other one is plane. Now a plane doesn't necessarily need to be a four-shaped like a square or a rectangle. It doesn't necessarily need to be a four-sided figure. It can be a triangle too. So a plane is a flat surface that has no thickness and extends forever. Now, as again in yesterday's video we learned all in detail about these things. It's just a quick revision. So plane is named either by using any 3 non-collinear points. Now non-collinear points means which are not on a straight line, or it can be named by using these letters. Okay, so either you use any 3 points on the plane, or you use any letter which is called as scripted letter. Either you call this as plane R, or use any 3 points on the plane, but they should not be on a straight line. Now for today's lesson, let's start with no, this is also yesterday's lesson, which are the points which are collinear. Now as I said, co means together and linear means straight. So collinear means points on a straight line. So the lines which are on us with the points which are on a straight line, A, B, C, D, are collinear. The points which are not in a straight line are called as non-collinear points. The similar way, points that lie in the same plane are coplanar points. Now coplanar points, co means again together on the plane. So the points that are on the same plane, for example, here we have A, B, C. So these are coplanar points, but point E is not coplanar because it is out of the plane. This was yesterday's lesson. So to start with today's lesson, we have something called segment. The easier word for segment is part, a part of something. So a part of line is called as a line segment. A segment is part or line segment, which means a part of a line is a part of a line consisting of 2 points and all points between them. Now, this is a line. How do you know this is a line? Because it has 2 arrows on either sides. So this is line AB. But if you put 2 endpoints, 2 points in the line, that becomes a line segment. So you can remove AB and it will look like this. So a line segment has 2 endpoints, which means it shows that it's part of the line, but it cannot go on to either sides because it's just a part. You removed a part of it, so how can the line continue, right? So same way, a line segment has 2 endpoints and we name them as line segment A and B. This is how you have to identify line segments. The next one is array. Array is a part of a line that starts at an endpoint and extends forever in one direction. Now what happens once you remove a part of the line? If you remove a part of the line, of course you will have one endpoint and the other side the line keeps moving. So that is called as array. The easiest way to remember it is as a sun's ray. As sun acts as the point, and the light which comes out of the sun is called sun ray. So we cannot stop the light coming out from the ray, the sun, right? But sun acts as a stop point, and the light which comes out is as called as a ray. So sun ray, that's why it's called as sun's rays. A ray has one endpoint and it can go on in one direction. Similarly here, this is called as ray AB. Why is it called as ray AB? This A is an endpoint and you can see it is going on in one direction. And to name the ray, of course, we need 2 points. So we can take any 2 points and name this as ray AB. Now, let's see, the last one you have is an end point. End means stop. So the point which stops is called as an end point. An end point is a point at one end of a segment or the starting point of a ray. So end point is at one end of a segment. So you can see that there are 2 endpoints for a line segment, or it can be the starting of a ray. As when you put an endpoint to remove a segment, of course, the remaining part of it acts as a ray. So it is either the starting of a ray or the end of one segment of a line. Now, the next one is you have opposite rays. Now, what are opposite rays? They are 2 rays that have a common endpoint and form a line. It's like the rays are angry with each other, so they are going in the opposite direction. So as you can see here, this is the common point for the ray, because the opposite rays, they have common points. So K is the common point. It's the common point, and then one ray goes to the left and the other ray goes to the right. So we call this as ray KL, and we call this as a ray KJ. Now you can see this is the symbol for the ray. On top of the letters, you will write this symbol to show that it is a ray. So the easy way to remember opposite rays are they go in opposite directions. That's all. Now let's see. Draw and label a ray with endpoint M that contains N. So they want you to draw a ray. So you know how a ray looks like. A ray has one endpoint and one side it's got a line. But the endpoint should be named as M, but also the ray should have N. Contains means have. So we choose the endpoint to be M according to the question, and it says N, so you can choose any one point on the ray and say that it is ray MN. You have to be careful what the question says. If they give you the letters, you have to use those letters. But if they did not give you, if they just say draw a ray, then you can draw a ray and name any letter you want to. And the next one is this figure. Look at this figure and let's answer these questions. Name a line that passes through 2 points. So in the figure, what are the points we have? We have point G, and we have point H, and we have point F. So these 3 are the points we have, but they want a line that passes through 2 points. So this is the only line we have. So according to this figure, the line that passes through 2 points is line N. So there is exactly one line N passing through G and H. So you name it as line N. Next question, name a plane that contains 3 non-collinear points. Now non-collinear means not on the same line. Collinear means on the same line, non-collinear means not on the same line. So which is the plane that contains 3 non-collinear points? You can use any 3 points on the plane G, H, F. So these are the 3 planes. Sorry, these are the 3 points on the plane G, H, F, or you can call it as plane R, as it is a scripted letter. So either you can say it as plane G, H, F, or you can call it as plane R. So this was your lesson. As always I say, practice makes you perfect, right? So let's practice some questions. All right. So this is your textbook page 9. So you can do it along with me, else you can pause the video here and do the related questions and then check your answers. All right. Now, question number 7 says, draw and label each of the following. So you need to draw a segment with endpoints M and N. You know how a segment looks like. A segment is part of the line. So let's start drawing that. So to start with, let me draw a line first, and then I will add in two endpoints because a segment should have two endpoints. Now it's not necessary that you need to draw it the same way. You can draw it as a vertical line as well, but this is the most common way of drawing it, so I have drawn it this way. So they said a segment with endpoints M and N. So these are the two endpoints. You can name them as M and N. Even you can name this as M and that as N, no problem at all. Okay, so the next question is a ray with endpoint F that passes through G. So I'm going to draw a ray now. Now, how does a ray look like? A ray has one endpoint, right? That's an endpoint, and it continues in one direction. So one end should be a point, and one end should have an arrow. This is how a ray looks like. Now they said ray with endpoint F. So this is the endpoint, of course, not this one. So we name this as F. The endpoint we name as F that passes through G. Now where am I going to name G? You can choose any point on the ray and name it as G. This is just to show that it is passing through G only. It doesn't mean G is a ray now. F is a ray with an endpoint F, but it's passing through G. Okay, let's move on to another question. Now for this question, you're going to be using this figure. Name three collinear points. Now they want you to name three collinear points. Where are the three collinear? Collinear. Co means together, linear means straight. So three points which are straight. So here we have C and A, but there is a point missing. So there are only 2 points. But look at this line here. We have E, B, A. So we name it the three collinear points as not C, E, B, A or A, B, E. However you want to name it. A, B, E or E, B, A. Doesn't matter the order, but it should be in one order. You cannot say B, E, A because B is in between. So three collinear points are A, B, E or E, B, A. Now 4 coplanar points. Now coplanar points, co means together, planar means on the same plane. So they want you to write 4 points on the same plane. We have many points on the same plane, so let's write them. But make sure that you don't write which are on a straight line. You cannot say EBA because they're on a straight line. You have to choose the ones which are not straight. So there are many ways you can choose. You can say BEDC or ABED, any 4, but they should not be straight. You can even say CBED, up to you. But let me name this as BED or DEBA. Doesn't matter, but they want 4 points. So DEBA or AB, any 4 points, but which are on the plane, but it should not be straight. Now, I'm only giving you one answer. There are many answers. Next one is a plane containing E. So they want you to name a plane containing the point E. So you can choose either as plane S, because that's where point A is, or you can choose any 3 points on the plane and write it such. So a plane containing E, we can name it as plane S, or you can even say plane BAC. How do you name a plane? You can choose any 3 points on the plane and name it, but they should not be on a straight line. You can watch yesterday's video for a detailed explanation of all these things. If you have understood, then you will understand what we are doing. Let's move on to another question. They want you to draw and label again. So a line containing X and Y. They want you to draw a line containing X and Y. What's the speciality of a line? A line is always straight and it has two arrows on either sides. So draw the arrow. Now do use a ruler when you are drawing these figures, because it's very important that you use a ruler. A line containing xy. So I need to write xy. So to write xy, I can name 2 points here. Let me name this as x and let me name this point as y. Okay, so this is a line xy. It's easy. Only you need to remember the specific things. How a line looks like, how does a ray look like, how does a line segment look like. You have to remember these. A pair of opposite rays that both contain R. So they want you to draw a pair of opposite rays. So let's draw rays which are opposite. So you don't need to necessarily draw a straight one. You can draw it like that. Okay, they are going in the opposite directions. So let me make this a bit bigger. So they said they both contain R. So both means which is the common point for both the rays? This point. So let's name this as R. So this is the common point for R and both of them have R. Now in case if you find a question which says draw a pair of opposite rays that has GH and HJ. So if they say any question, if you find any question like this, draw a pair of opposite rays and with GH and HJ, how are you going to draw? You will draw them like this. Now this is just an example I'm giving you. Maybe you will find these kinds of questions somewhere. Okay. So draw two rays. Name this point. This is the common point. So which letters are common in both these rays? Of course, letter H is common. So the common point, you will name it as letter H. And then you can name this as GH and HJ. This is how you have to draw rays according to the question. You will draw opposite rays according to questions like this. Okay, let's move on to another question. Now again, we will use this figure. You have to use the figure, name 2 points and a line that lie in plane T. They want you to name 2 points and a line in plane T. So you can see this is plane T. Okay, this is plane T because this is plane S. Okay, so we are only concentrating on plane T. They want 2 points and a line. So which line is on plane T? It is line GF. You can name this as line L. So now let's write it as line L. So this is one line. And they also want 2 points on plane T. So 2 points can be GF or JF because even point J is on that plane. So let's write the points as point. To be on the safe side, we just write the points which are on the plane. So point G and F. Simple. Now they want 2 planes that contain line L. If you can see, this is line L. Line L belongs to this plane as well as this plane. So you can write the names of 2 planes as plane S and T, or you can choose any 2 points, but to be always on safe side, it's better to write what we can see. So plane T and S. So plane T and S contains line L. Next one, again sketch a figure that shows each of the following. A line that intersect two non-intersect means what? Yesterday we studied intersect means join or meet. So here they said non-intersecting means not joining or not meeting. right? Fine. So they want you to draw a line that intersects two non-intersecting planes. So the planes should not intersect, but the line should intersect. So first let's draw planes which won't intersect. Let me show you how to draw planes which don't intersect. Now this is purely a work of imagination. Okay, this is a plane. Now both of them should not join. So how am I going to draw a plane that doesn't join? It is purely and purely imagination. See it. Now maybe you all can do it much better than me, but definitely it needs a lot of imagination. So it's fun to draw, but it's not, it has to be accurate. So oops, maybe you can draw with a pencil more easily, because I'm finding it difficult to draw with the, even this line thing is not straight. Straight. Okay, and then okay. Now, if you imagine, okay, this is like a plane floating on top of each other because they don't want to join. They said non-intersecting planes, right? So you have to imagine, as I told you, it's a pure work of imagination. That's why architectures, engineers use this, because when they make the models, definitely they have to draw, right? So think yourself as an architecture and draw this picture. So they said non-intersecting planes. Now, if you imagine this, they are not joining at all. They're like one on top and one down. Now you have to draw a line that intersects the two non-intersecting. So you are going to draw a line. Now you are drawing a line, which means it should pass through both of them. It should in fact pass like that, which means literally it is joining both the planes, but it's joining both the planes. So that's intersecting, it's going through the planes. That's why I have drawn it like this. Now, this is imaginary, so I need to show you it with the dotted lines. I'm really not so good in drawing, but I'm trying my best. Trying is what makes you good. Okay, so this I showed with a dotted line because that's what we cannot see. It is there, but we cannot see. But the top part of this plane we can see, but the down part of this plane we cannot see. But the line is passing through both. It's a straight line you are putting through both the planes. So this is how you need to draw a line that intersects two non-intersecting planes. The line is touching both, right? Line is touching this one as well as this, but the planes are not touching each other. Hopefully you understand. Fine. Then the next one, three coplanar lines. So you need to draw three coplanar lines that intersect in three different points. So let's draw three lines, but they should meet each other at three different points. So it should look like this. Why should it look like this? Because don't forget to put the arrows, because they said lines. They should meet at three different points. So this is one point, this is another point, and this is another point. So according to the question, they should be lines, three lines, and they should touch each other, but they should touch them in three different points. So this is line 1, this is line 2, this is line 3, and they are intersecting at three different points. Now what will happen if you draw three lines this way? They're not intersecting in three, you can have, but they're not clear. See, they're intersecting three differently, but they are not clear. This is much a clear picture. So you, the same thing, I have just made it a bit bigger, that's all. So there are many ways to draw this. Make sure that it intersects in three different places. So Hopefully you have understood this lesson. It was fun. You can try out some more questions. There are more fun questions to do. If you think math is fun, yes, it's fun. If you think math is difficult, yes, it's difficult. It all depends on how you think. If you think something is difficult, definitely it's going to be difficult. If you think it's something fun and easy, yes, it's fun and easy. So hopefully you have understood this lesson. If you did not understand, you're free to ask any questions you want to. Do like the video if you have understood the lesson. Okay, and as I always say, you can help by saying others to watch the video if there is anyone whom you know who can benefit from this video. So till we meet again, keep practicing and keep having fun with math.